Go. Ian, how's it
Hello,
going?
Brennan. It's going. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing my favorite thing in the whole world.
What's that?
My Twitch show, DrawBomb.
Oh shit! This is
What
your
are you
favorite
doing?
thing in the whole world?
Yeah, I lead a very empty life.
It sounds like it. I'm sorry to hear that, but
I like that that's a reason for concern. Like, what? You enjoy doing this?
my job is my favorite thing. I mean, this isn't our job yet,
No,
obviously.
this is
We'd
not
like,
my job.
no, but I mean, it's kind of like work because
Sometimes.
you know we do it for the sake of. I mean, I do it because I like it, but it is a little bit. It's not like the most relaxing thing sometimes because it's like
Yeah.
it takes effort.
Fair.
My job is my favorite thing. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
A lot of people talk that way, and I'm like, you just out. Like when I've heard people say like, I'm like, boy, if I was rich, I would leave this job. And people are like, what would you do if you didn't have your job? And it's like, you just
Anything.
You just outed yourself that you have no hobbies, sir.
Yeah. That's
Now
scary, I think.
now
when
everyone
people,
knows that you have nothing besides this.
when you don't have any hobbies, that's like... There are people who don't have hobbies. I mean, that's fine,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't want to tell people how to live their lives. But it's like, you don't, like... I mean, I guess some people, like, no matter what, like, some people's hobbies is like, I like to sit on the sofa and watch TV.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, it's
Which is
not
a
about
hobby.
telling people how to live their life. It seems sad to me that you're like, you really have nothing. Like, if you were given all the time in the world, you couldn't come up with anything to fill the day with. Like that seems
Yeah.
seems like you're depressed or something.
Like, there's so much better things to life than working a job, like a 9 to 5. Maybe the problem's with us. Maybe that's like a fulfilling life. And like the reason we're so unfulfilled is because that's not how we view things. You ever think of that, Brandon?
No, I don't feel so unfulfilled.
Oh, well then I guess that's just me talking. Oops,
but
just outed myself as living an unfulfilled life.
I don't know. It's just I guess everybody's allowed to be, satisfied in their own way if they're at least as long as they're being honest about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's also a cultural thing in this country. Like,
This is true.
when you meet somebody, they go, "What do you do?" And they don't mean "What do you do?" for fun.
Right. I mean,
I've
there's
seen,
also some countries where... Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish what you're saying first.
that was mostly it, but like, yeah, that sentence, like, they're asking, "What do you do to make money?" Not like that's. I want
How do you get
to learn
fulfillment in
something
life?
about you. No, that's not what they're asking either. They're asking what you do for your job when you hit.
No, I know
And
that that's what they're asking, but it's not like... they're not
yeah.
asking what do you get for fulfillment
It's
in
a
your
strange
life. 'Cause I
thing
feel
because
like...
that question usually comes up when you're trying to get to know somebody, and it's like one of the first
Yeah.
questions asked, and it's like
Is-
you're asking something
is
that's
your-
going to give you no information about who they are as an actual person.
I think, though, it's a bit of a social defense mechanism to ask somebody their job. Because if you think about it, you're at a party and some dude says like, "Hey, do you want to smoke outside?" Maybe like he means me. Like, this is in case like you're a smoker of cigarettes. I personally am not, but this is just a scenario. But you meet a guy and he's like, "Hey, do you want to smoke outside?" And then you're like, "Okay, cool. And what do you do?" And then he's like, "I'm a recovering meth addict," or something like that.
Right.
Like,
It's
then
a
all of a
safe
sudden,
question. Small talk.
yeah,
It's like
It's
talking
small
about
talk.
weather.
it's like talking about weather, but it's also just like, if we get pizza, is this guy gonna be able to be responsible for at least his portion of the bill? You know, because like
You're feeling
you talk
it
to
out.
a guy.
It's like
you're feeling it out.
a credit check.
It's like a friend credit check, exactly. Because if you start if you're hanging out at a party with a guy and they're like, "Let's get pizza," like the guy who's the bank manager, like, he's good. He's like gonna pay for his end of the portion. But if you got a guy who's just like, "I'm a Twitch streamer, I'm not an affiliate yet, but I'm working on it," Like you're like so.
Twitch
Derek,
streamers
you
who
can't-
aren't affiliate yet. That's what I think of them. It's like, what are you even doing with your time?
People can't even send you money unless you set up your own donate page, you fucking loser. We never have to deal with that. Our huge audience in the chat right now, as you can see.
It doesn't matter. We got that status now. Now no one
People
has
can
to
send
watch.
us money if they choose.
No, but yeah, I get what you're saying. That's an interesting way to look at it. I hadn't thought about that.
It's I mean, it's not like the only reason. I think also because, you know, on a normal sort of work week, you work 8 to 4. That's what 8 hours. I mean, obviously it's 8 hours in a day if you have a full-time job, and then like you get home, and then you get like maybe 4 hours of time. Like your job does end up occupying.
It does end up being who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, as far as small talk goes, it's, as much as we all may hate it, we can all talk more about the thing we do for our day job than anything else, because it's just like you said, it takes up the most of your time, so you just have endless information on it, even if you hate the thing.
And generally, if it's like a decent job, like there's interesting things you can tell people who aren't in the know. Like, if I wanted to like really impress some folks, and someone's just like, "How does credit work?" I can be like, "Ha ha ha ha! I'll tell you how credit works."
Take a seat. Do you have 3 hours?
Yeah, seriously.
Here, I have a whiteboard over here. I'm gonna roll up.
Let me get my pie charts. It's also a matter of like you try and have other sorts of small talk with people about your hobbies, and it's like, hey, so like, do you watch Game of Thrones? And they're like, no, and you're like, cool.
That's why I just walk away.
Yeah, exactly. Like you got nothing else to talk about then.
Yeah.
We have a comment in the chat. Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you say what you want to say first.
Read the comment. I don't really have much to say.
Say it, Brandon.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say now after that.
Oh man, I scared it out of you.
Says, I've returned with pizza, beer, my new truck, and a sense of adventure.
Oh my god, he got the truck he was talking about. This is the ongoing adventures of the Leviathan Den's truck escapades, or as some people like to call them, Toyota escapades. That's the name of a Toyota, right?
I could not tell you.
I'm looking it up.
It's got to be the type. There's got to be a type of vehicle that's an escapade, right? Or is escapade too like? I feel like escapade is like.
There is a Ford.
Is a patronizing term for an adventure or something.
I mean, no. I think escapade is almost like it can be if like you're going to Chuck E. Cheese, and your mom's like, okay, let's go on our little escapade, or you know, if she really is being like a dick about taking you to Chuck E. Cheese.
Mom was always a dick about taking me to Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm like,
such a rude mom.
Just take me there so I can get flu in the ball pit and then bring it home and get everybody else sick. That's what I want as a child.
That should be the name of a middle-aged mother, like all-woman reggae band is Rude Mom. Because of the bassists go like in reggae.
I understand.
Okay, I know. I heard you smirk. So
I was drinking something, so I couldn't.
I heard the
More
ice.
than just a chuckle.
I wanted to make it shoot at your nose, but there is a Ford Escapade. I've confirmed.
Okay, there you go. Leviathan Den says it's a Silverado 1500 LT. Wait, I want to do this again, like in the commercial voice.
Do it like a commercial, yeah.
Silverado 1500 LT, 5.3 liter V8 with HID headlights, full touch screen console with Apple and Android CarPlay.
No money down.
And then there's a clip of it driving over like a boulder for some reason, which I don't think you should ever do with any vehicle. I don't know why everybody's driving on a boulder.
It's a great way to die.
So like, hey, should we just drive around that boulder? No, we're going straight over it.
Oh yeah, dude. This car has 4-wheel drive. Do you know what that means? We can go in the land, we can go in the sea, we can go in the air. You can go anywhere with 4-wheel drive. And you're like, I don't think that's how 4-wheel. Oh god! Because then you're all of a sudden.
And the next thing you know, you're driving up the face of the side of a glacier.
Yeah.
Just like at 90 degrees.
The Himalaya mountains ain't ever seen a Silverado.
That's awesome, by the way. We're not mocking the Silverado, just the commercials.
Oh, not at all.
I would love to have a nice new truck. That'd be cool. I had a truck in the
I would
past. It
love-
was my favorite vehicle I've ever owned. It was very fun.
would
Granted, I
love
live in
to
a city
have-
now. I used to live in the country, and it seems less fun here. But it was a lot of fun out there.
It's when you got a big truck and you're on some like less than paved roads,
Yeah.
it's a nice feeling to have that extra girth underneath you. The vehicle I want most of all though is a electric scooter, because
Well, they're all over the city.
I know that sounds so fun. I mean, not my city. I've never seen any in Philadelphia,
They
but
gotta
then again,
be
I
there.
am not.
Really? That seems.
I'm
I feel
serious.
like
We
by
have-
now they have to be there.
They're probably there now, but I haven't been around in a while. We did have Indigo bikes. Did you have Indigo bikes?
No, but we're getting. The thing is, they're all called different things because
Yeah, that's true.
these companies are like little pop-ups.
Yeah.
But we just got the scooters, and they're talking about bringing whatever brand of bikes like over the next year or so.
Like the kind
I
of
think that's all
they're
good
like these
stuff.
little stations. The bike
Yeah.
idea I like, actually. I really like the bike idea. I like the bikes.
The scooters I don't hate. They're fun. We just actually played around with them this weekend. I don't know. Like, I live in a small town or small city, so they're pretty like functional for just like, hey, let's go over there and you just ride them, park them, and get off, and it's like $1. And I don't know. They're pretty fun. I don't hate them.
Pretty fun stuff.
you hate the
I never
scooters?
used. What was that?
Do you hate the scooters?
No, I like
Oh.
the idea. I mean, look, here's the thing.
The way you said
I
it
like
was
the idea. Sorry, go ahead.
Your inflection was like, the bikes I like, so I thought that meant and insinuate that you didn't like the scooters.
Oh no! I like the bikes. I thought it was just a funny sounding sentence. The bikes I liked.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you were saying you like the bikes, but you don't like the scooters.
Oh no, I don't mind the scooters. I actually think those look super fun. I mean, the thing is, I've heard stories about them being sort of like sidewalk pollution sometimes if
Yeah,
they don't
I've
have
heard-
very good restrictions underneath of them.
Yeah, I think that's the one concern, but
But
it doesn't seem to be too big
as a
deal yet
yeah,
here.
as a concept though, I am a fan because first of all, anything that gets people not driving cars, I think,
Exactly.
is a plus. Number two, having more convenient ways around the city. Since public like, I don't know, the entire time I've been in Philly, like, they have made no changes to the public transportation, which is very sparse except for the bus routes. But I hate the bus. Like the subways are very sparse, and they are not working on constructing new subway routes, which I understand you have to drill a literal hole underneath the city. But it's still just like a pain, and they've made no like adjustments to the infrastructure. So like those things, which I'm not a fan of, like tech startup culture or like what tech startups end up doing if they become very successful. But I do appreciate just more ways to get around the city that don't involve clogging up the road
Right.
with more cars and causing more pollution also.
I agree with all those sentiments. I think just from like the very looking at the simple idea of like, are the scooters cool? I'm like, yeah, I like that there's less cars on the road, more ways for people
Yeah.
to get around, and they're fun. But yeah, I agree. Like tech startups suck and all this sorts of stuff. But
There's always
yeah.
they are large and contain multitudes, these issues, you know? There's always
there's nothing that's
facets
just
to everything.
good.
Yeah, seriously, there really isn't, which is such a... Isn't it a pain that the world's not fucking in black and white and like everything has a gray area? What the hell? Welcome to Philosophy Bomb. Today we're just getting real deep with it. Tell us, Brandon, what are your thoughts on the astral plane? You don't have to answer that.
Okay. You know, I will beam my answer from my third eye to yours,
God,
but
thank you so
I'm not
much.
gonna say it out loud because I feel like that would.
My astral projection thanks you. Did you ever
I
know
know.
anyone who believed in magic with a K?
What does that mean?
Magic with a K?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's just real magic, bro. Ain't your Harry Potter shit? That's your real magic.
Okay,
that
so
exists.
fake magic has a C, real magic has a K.
Actually, I think it's a CK.
Wow.
So it's like magic CK.
Magica.
Just Magic. Magica is, I think,
a video game.
a video game. That is true. It's also like what they call it in Final Fantasy, your magic.
Okay.
Which I think actually explains why the most powerful versions of like the flame spells, like Flamiga and then Magic and then like Fireiga. Sorry, go ahead.
Leviathan Dunn says, I agree with the having a truck is great on any type of road. Going from a small car to a higher price vehicle is night and day difference. Right off the bat, the truck was super quiet inside. I can hear road noise. Spacious. Feels like your own little private valet. They just drive so smooth. Yeah, when you're way up high, you don't feel the road as much. That's true. I do
definitely.
As much as I loved having a truck, I don't know if I'd get one here, just because a lot of my day involves parallel parking, and that sounds like a nightmare with the big truck.
The tough part.
There's a lot of times I have a little like sedan, and like there's a lot of times I'm like, this is gonna be tight. So a truck would just like I would have like a third of the options, less. I would have like an eighth of the options.
Yeah.
Extra Attack RPG in the chat says, "Oh damn, it's DrawBomb!
It's DrawBomb!" Man, you guys chose to spend your hour with us.
Ah, that's a shame.
Ah,
So-
shit.
Ah, that's a shame.
Wow.
Wait, what do I got? Where is it? You gotta press the. I put some on the numpad, and I'm trying to remember them instead of cheating. So let's see if I get it. No, that was not the one I meant
That's
to go
my.
for.
I love that one
to
though.
go
That's
for.
my favorite sound you have.
That's the one.
And you hit the nail on the head with that one. You hit the bullseye.
That's the bullseye.
It's supposed to be an arrow hitting. It usually helps to have a shoo.
Arrows don't really make that noise, I don't think. Do they? I guess I've never been that close to where an arrow strikes, so maybe they do make that noise.
It's supposed to be it hitting the target, and then the tail is like
I understand.
like vibrating back and forth, like you hit like the knob on like a door stopper.
Yeah, that's actually what I was gonna say. It sounds like.
Maybe that's what it is. We have Leviathan Den saying having a backup camera is fantastic.
Sounds fantastic.
It sounds.
That would
good.
help with the parallel parking too, but I'm just saying like some of those spots, it's not about like not being able to see. It's like physically the truck wouldn't fit in some of these spots. People park like assholes, and they'll park like in the middle of a meter, so it takes up half the space. You have to like squeeze in.
And Black Cross says, for the glory. So thank you, Black Cross, for joining us. And
Hey.
then Extra Attack says, don't respond to Black Cross. Don't acknowledge him.
Late. You blew it.
Did.
That's why I always read. That's why I always read 10 messages ahead.
That's a good idea. You're
just to be
like a
safe.
chess player.
So if we only have one person in the chat, I just never read their stuff. We need to wait till
That's
10
true.
people, 10 comments happen.
That's right. Only read 10 at a time. That's why we're just getting to everybody now. I don't know why I'm trying to extend your desk. This desk looks fine.
It would be a giant desk. Put a file
It'd be a
cabinet
big
over
desk.
there. Something.
I was gonna put this poster up here. Generally,
Put a
though,
poster
cubicle
over there.
desks,
Something.
cubicles and their desks come like they're basically part of each other, right? Like those old school desks where the top is the same as or the same thing as the bottom.
I don't know.
I don't know. I always got to see the
been in one.
cubicles, but I never got to sit in one. But they looked super great actually.
I love
to
the
have a
design.
cubicle.
I really, really love the design from Incredibles, because he's like the biggest guy in the world, and then the cubicle he's in is like has a load bearing like pillar taking up half of it. So he's just like just to make like how terrible his job is like illustrated more perfectly. He's just like the biggest guy there in the smallest cubicle there.
That's fantastic. I'm looking it up right now, real quick.
It's just really good.
Oh, I see right there. Yeah, the pillar. That's fantastic. Oh, and then legitimately the first picture I click, what? Hold on. Oh, okay. So I'm watching. First of all, that's fantastic. That really is like
It's
hilarious.
great design.
But so I'm watching. The first image I clicked on from the Google image search is about that pillar. But this is from an Imgur. I'm not sure if I believe it, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like he was already just let's just go to the footage. The Imgur caption says, "In the movie The Incredibles, Robert Parr's cubicle is the office where he in the office where he works contains a pillar which was installed to support the building after Bob's weight gain due to his bout with depression." Which I don't feel like. I feel like. Wait, hold on. I thought it was a giant fridge and that he was slowly transforming. But anyways, I don't think that he gained that weight from the depression or whatever. I feel like he was always huge.
Well, no, he gained a lot of weight from like when he was younger, but I mean, I think it's just like he's a dad.
Getting old.
He's middle-aged, and that's what
yeah, your
happens
metabolism
to
slows down.
most men of that age.
He's got that dad bod.
It does.
I mean, I feel like the pillar being the load bearing right next to him so that the building doesn't collapse under him makes sense because he is like supposed to be like a bulking mass essentially. But
doesn't make sense to me.
Does it make sense?
Because okay, so say the pillar isn't there. You're saying like just his weight of his body
could crash through the floor, maybe?
No, he's not extra heavy. He's just extra strong.
Yeah, but like
he's a big guy, but not enough
extra
to like.
Strength.
He's a superhero. Like people, you gotta suspend your disbelief. People can turn invisible and like stretch. It's not about your physical form.
I know,
it's just you have magic powers with a K.
Okay, that's magic with a K. Okay, that's the Incredibles.
I think it was just meant to like. I could be wrong.
I mean, it definitely exemplifies how terrible his job is.
I think that's it. You're just supposed to be like. He hates his life, and they just have to make it look as terrible as possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that's wrong. I agree. It definitely exemplifies. It's good. It's a good shot. It's a good detail for like something you see for like maybe 5 seconds. But I don't know. Let's take it to the chat. Do you feel like Mr. Incredible weighs extra heavy because his superpower is being extra strong? Now,
and let's
Street Court.
When we say extra heavy, we're saying like more than somebody who's the exact same size as him without superpowers.
So okay, his superpower is that he's super strong. He can punch like trains and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like Superman.
My question is, I guess they never. You know what? Okay, now I'm actually just going down this rabbit hole. They never. The Incredibles is like the only superhero series I think that's never explained where people get their superpowers from, other than like it's genetics, because
right. Just some people have powers, some don't, type thing.
And you can pass the powers along to your kids.
Right.
But they get different powers. He
drives a little teeny car, so if he weighed like the size of like a wrecking ball, he wouldn't be able to drive that thing.
That's fair. Brandon arguing his case very nicely.
They're just trying to make him like they're trying to add to the claustrophobia of his father life, where he's just like in the rotation doing the same thing every day, not doing what he loves anymore, and he's just like feels claustrophobic both in what he does and like physically he's claustrophobic.
Okay, that's fair. He's okay, so but like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
That dude weighs a shit ton though, right?
Yeah, but he's also like the size of a truck.
Yeah, but Mr. Incredible is larger than his tiny car.
Yeah. That's true. But
he's the size of a truck.
The Hulk is bigger than Mr. Incredible.
The Hulk is bigger than Mr. Incredible. Yet somehow, and I argue this to the jury, somehow Mr. Incredible, despite being at least half the Hulk's size, doesn't weigh a lot like the Hulk does. Now, why the double standard, I ask you?
I'm sure Mr. Incredible weighs like, I don't know, 300...
A shit ton though, right? Like
300 pounds or something, or...
I guess, you know, if you had like a morbidly obese person working in that cubicle, you wouldn't need a support pillar next to them.
It doesn't hold the floor up. It holds the ceiling.
It holds the whole ass building up, sort of, in conjunction with the other pillars. I would know. I've played a building game or two. I played 7 Days to Die.
That's the building game?
What was the Pokemon fact? What was that?
That's the building game you've played?
7 Days to Die.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a
Yeah, I mean
building
it's
game.
a building game.
I didn't know that game had building in it.
Yeah, it's a zombie survival Minecraft.
Gotcha. I knew it was like zombie survival. I just didn't know it had building.
Oh yeah, it's got a very elaborate building system. And then like the reason it's called 7 Days to Die is you on the 7th day of survival. Yeah, you die. You start over. No, but there's like a zombie, like it's called like a blood moon or something like that, and it's just like the night is a constant wave after wave of zombies just trying to get you.
Okay.
And including like special zombies that you only see during those things, or like you travel very far. All that stuff. Also, I'm just gonna read this comment real quick. Black Cross has informed me that he tried to post the copy pasta for the FitnessGram Pacer test info into the chat, and that it didn't go through.
Maybe
sounds
there's
to me
like
like
a character limit or something.
Is it possibly a character limit, or AutoMod is blocking links, which Twitch does give the option to do that, so
Could be.
I'm not sure what could be causing that. Sorry to hear that though. We love Black Cross and his links. You know what, I'm just gonna...
Do you try to post the link or the whole copy pasta?
That's fair. Was he trying to post the whole last thing, or just the link? Because that would be then I would have to imagine the word limit may have gotten to it. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna keep the calendar there. I like feel a sneeze coming on, but I'm waiting.
Just let it fly, bro.
There it is.
Are you one that is one and done, or do you usually have following sneezes?
I'm usually a one and doneer, but I have had the occasional second sneeze follow up, which usually I can't even get in a breath before that sneeze, so you hear me go like achoo, achoo.
For a lot of people, the second sneeze is like a sure thing, but for me, it's it's like 50-50.
Huh. For me, it's like 10% of the time I get that extra sneeze.
BlackRock Cross says the FitnessGram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. The 20-meter pacer test will begin in 30 seconds. Line up at the start. The running speed starts slowly but gets faster each minute after you hear this signal.
I feel
like it's a meme I'm not like privy to.
I don't think I've seen this one before.
Wow.
Wow. Today, let's learn about memes. I'm gonna blow my nose again. I will say, after a sneeze, I generally will have to blow my nose.
It's probably a good
If
thing.
I haven't had to blow my nose. What was that?
It's probably a good thing. I feel like I end up like just being like gross and like sniffling for a minute, and it's just like just blow your nose and get it over with for everyone else.
Seriously. But nah,
I just don't always have tissues at the ready.
I don't either. That could be a difficult situation. But I also have a terrible sinuses with my nose and stuff. It's like always on the fritz.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just carry. I'm like, of all the people you would expect to have pocket tissues, I am one of them.
Well, everybody likes hanging out with that guy because
damn right.
They have tissues.
Frequent pocket tissue owner in the pockets. Although usually, if I'm like really in need of pocket tissues, I'll have gone through them like hours ago because my nose is just on the fritz.
Because they don't keep enough in one container.
Yeah. This year was the year I have most not needed to go blow my nose all the time. I mean, it was pretty not great sometimes, but compared to other years, this was good. Probably because I didn't leave the house at all.
That is one thing. Like, I'm like, I don't know anybody who got the flu this year.
Right? We may have eradicated it and given everyone COVID instead.
I think it's just because everybody's been like sanitizing everything and avoiding each other, and wearing masks mainly. So like, it's like you're gonna tell me that stuff doesn't work. No one got the flu this year.
I hope fucking the mask shit, at least for sane people, keeps in vogue. This is our opportunity.
It'd be cool, yeah, if it stays in vogue. But ultimately, I hope it's just like the like weirdness of it is gone, so people can pick and choose and like.
Yeah.
Because like I might want to wear a mask, but I'm gonna be pretty wore down if every time I go out and do it, I'm like 1,000 people being like, "Hey, didn't you hear? Coronavirus is over." Like, whatever. I just want it to be normalized, so it's like, not that I care what other people think, but I do get, it wears you down when just people give you shit every day for something. So,
yeah,
like, I want to have the option, and I don't want people to be harassing me about it.
Like, in the olden days, if you didn't, like, if you wore a mask because you were feeling sick and you were trying to be polite, like, stores would be like, "Hey, take that mask off, buddy." And it's like, no, you don't. I'm just trying to save you from my sickness.
Also, like, I think, say pre-COVID, if you were out wearing a mask everywhere you went, people would be like, that guy's strange.
Yeah, exactly. What a weirdo. But, I'm excited for the idea of fucking wearing that shit. I mean, Extra Attack says masks in winter are going to be part of my life forever.
For sure.
And he also asks, did you guys not have to run the pacer test in school like in gym class? I mean, I ran the mile.
I think I could be wrong. Maybe it's a national thing, but I think everybody they have different names, and like we had like the presidential fitness, and we like had to run a certain distance, like the mile, like you said. But I've never heard the term pacer test.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know if it's like a regional thing or like I don't know what.
Yeah, I've never run anything specifically called the pacer test. But I have just run like dashes and stuff, like when we had to do like fitness tests and games and stuff as like a part of school. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, never anything specifically called the pacer test. That's new to me. Think of what I was gonna do here. Yeah, never had to do that stiff. But yeah, I hope masks become much more like I think at this point they will be. Like I think I've seen multiple people saying like this is my opportunity to finally just like wear those masks when I'm feeling ill, and people will understand.
Yeah, ultimately that's really when like it shouldn't be weird. It's like, hey, I'm doing this for all your benefits.
Well, that's the issue, is even if you're trying to be conscientious and courteous, like people would be like, "You fucking weirdo! What are you trying to do? Prevent me from getting your sickness? You fucking weirdo!"
I still hear people now be like, if you're still worried about getting COVID, then does that mean the masks don't work? And I'm like, you can't be a year and a half into this thing and still not understand it, right? Or are you being like willfully stupid, or are you just actually that confused about simple things?
Yeah, they're just willfully ignorant because it's like a point of pride that they don't know better.
Fits their narrative as well. I think they lie a little bit about what they actually know.
Yeah. So, wear your mask, folks, especially if all this ends up being over at some point in the future. Wear your masks if you're feeling ill. Do us all a favor, normalize it so that folks can, because the thing is, like, a lot of old people die from the flu every year because we haven't normalized wearing masks. And it's like, you could have had grandma for like a little longer if you wanted, but this is a American society.
We do what we want.
Do what we want. We measure our own lengths. All stupid.
Penis lengths?
What was that?
Penis lengths?
Penis lengths?
You said we measure our own lengths? Is that what you said?
Oh, no, like, you know how, like, we use the imperial system?
Oh, to measure penises?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a 12-footer.
Huh. That seems unwieldy.
Ladies. I'm sorry. It's uncomfortable. It's hard to fit into a pair of slacks, without feeling like I need
wear
to.
like 4 pairs of slacks.
I wear 2 pairs of slacks and 5 pair of underwear and a sock.
I feel like you'd have to roll it up like a fire hose, like the ones in the buildings, like, and then like tie it somewhere. It's just, I feel like you would be on disability. I think you'd pass for disability. You would not be able to live your life.
Man, the blood flow is enough to almost kill me.
I got a penis reduction surgery. They
Yeah,
got
I
it
got
down to
reduced.
6 feet.
It's much more manageable now, and I don't pass out anytime I have thoughts or watch certain movies.
Go unconscious.
Did it happen again?
Have you ever worked in a cubicle? I don't think you have.
I have not. When I was working in the bank, we worked at like desks, but they weren't cubicles. But like when we would go in for like training days, we would do it in the room where like a lot of the cubicles were, and I'd see like all the ways people had like decorated their cubicles and like made their own little space. And like the idea of cubicles is soul crushing, but at the same time, I do love having my own space where
Yeah,
I can just like hide away.
Unless the office is like has rules against putting like things in your cubicle, I think I could make it not the worst thing in the world for myself.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I got sneezed.
My God, I gave it to you.
One and done today.
One and doneer. Gave you whatever I had. This is why you wear masks, folks. Oh God, could you imagine like a virus that you can give people over Zoom calls? Like sneeze on my webcam and you somehow get it.
That would be strange. That's like a Black Mirror thing.
It has a good Black Mirror. I thought about, I was writing a script one time for like a horror idea, which was, you know, those like Snapchat filters and how sometimes when they don't work correctly, they make really horrifying results.
Yeah.
That, but it's like happening to people's faces, and I was trying to figure out like how do I even like what does that do then? It kills them, turns them into zombies or whatever.
Like
and then I never really
like
got
the
past
weird
that.
effects actually affect your real face.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Like you just have a big puppy dog tongue forever.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking of.
It's weird to me that filters, like the weird Snapchat filters, are like some people. Like I get it, they do things, some little touches that are less or more subtle, like you know, some of them like make your face look skinnier and your eyes bigger and things like that. And that even that though that's not the main focus, but then some people just use Snapchat filters as their like photos on like all their stuff.
Catch me on my LinkedIn where I got a dog face.
Yeah, the dog face maybe not. Maybe some people do that, but like the ones that just like change your face and like airbrush any wrinkles out, and then like they use that as their like photos for stuff. And I'm just like, that seems weird. Just I'm sure you look fine. Don't let Snapchat filters make you insecure.
Seriously. But you know, I have nothing. People who do that, like I've seen like a number of people whose only pictures were their Snapchat filters, and I'm just like, well, I get it. There's like a level of privacy, but if you're like, I don't know. I hear about people using them for job applications. Is the thing.
That's strange.
Yeah, it's like, what? Why would you think that's a good idea?
It's almost the same energy of like having your picture be you from like 20 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I feel weird because the photo I use for a lot of things is me from like 2 years ago. No. I guess right before the pandemic, so it's not that bad.
Yeah,
But,
that's not so egregious.
Still recent enough. My hair is just much shorter, and my facial hair much more unkempt. But otherwise, it's about I look the same. Was that?
Where's your facial hair more unkempt now?
Just in general now, yeah.
Well, the two things you listed was you said my hair is much shorter and my facial hair is unkempt. So you were listing one thing from your hair is shorter in the now?
No, my hair was shorter.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The two things you listed was one thing from the photo and one thing from now. That's why I was confused.
Oh, I see. I mixed up my.
You're like, this photo's not accurate because, yeah, exactly.
Look, man, I was writing "Kill Gary" on this post-it note. Forgive me if I mess up a sentence. Jeez, get off my back,
no yes ands
Mom.
here. I'm only giving you no ands.
You give me no buts.
Yeah.
No buts about it.
Boy, that's a cubicle right there.
This sure is. Like this is just about ready to be colored then.
I think so. So, have you been watching anything fun lately? Or are you still on King of the Hill?
Still on King of the Hill. I've been doing a lot of watching like Twitch streams lately.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't watched.
Give some shout outs if you'd like. I mean.
Oh man.
What are some of the goodies?
I mean, I've been watching
Hot
a lot
Tub
of
Time with. I just feel like every time I go to the page, it's like, we think you'd like this, and I'm like, why do you think I'd like this? I'm just like I watch the hot tub channels.
And it's funny too because like if you watch the a hot tub channel, then like people can see, or at least people on your friends list can see like, yeah, this person's watching the hot tub channel.
Exactly.
It's just like, God.
There's a lot of hot tub channels. That's a big.
There's a lot of hot tub
Twitch
channels.
thing right now. We should try that. We should do an episode from.
Let's do some hot tub chats.
And then like halfway through the episode, my computer tips into the hot tub.
Oh God.
And you watch
me be
electrocuted live.
Yeah.
If you had like,
if
I had like a lot of resources, say I was rich and I was twitching out, that's the kind of shit I would do. It's just stupid,
like trolls.
Not necessarily like fake my death on Twitch, but like just I don't know. I would come up with like stupidly elaborate bits. I think.
I feel you.
Rig up some pyrotechnics.
I faked my death today to see if I could fake my death.
It turned out I could. Everyone
fake
thinks
my
I'm
death
dead.
on Twitch. Sorry, you were saying something. And
what
I just
have I
kept
become? I don't know. We don't have to do the
my
whole song.
crown of thorns. I don't know.
That lyric's probably in there.
I think I could swear he says something about that.
Extra
like,
attack
Jesus
RPG.
now.
Yeah, Johnny
Wayne?
John, yeah. Wait,
No, it's Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. I almost said Johnny Depp, and that's why I stopped myself.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
you said John Wayne. So we had similar
Both
issues.
terrible people, apparently.
Your guy has a white eyebrow.
I know. I don't know when that happened. I'm gonna keep it, honestly.
I would be as annoyed as the guy at the desk if my one coworker with like a single white eyebrow always popped over my wall. Like, dude,
hey Gary, how do you like my eyebrow?
I said I hated it yesterday. I still hate it. You're making me uncomfortable. Extra Attack RPG says, more like hot tub crime machine. Am I right, boys? You are right. You are totally right.
This fellow right here.
Oh my God.
Excuse me. I had a lot to get out there.
Alright, finish coloring this one.
Finish coloring it, move on. Oh, you're asking if it's finished being colored now? Like this is the final?
I was kind of joking, but yeah, that's what I was saying.
Gotcha. No, I understand now. You were saying some jokes and goofs.
I've been
Oh, wait,
known
I was
to
keeping
do
that
a
eyebrow.
joke. What? Oh, I didn't erase the gray eyebrow.
No, I did. I realized I was meant to keep it. Speaking of hot tub crime machine, have you committed any crimes lately?
Probably, but I can't. I'm trying to think of any off the top of my head.
I have sinned. That is to be sure, Father.
The greatest crime. I coveted my neighbor.
My God.
Yeah.
How did that go?
I have not coveted my neighbors. My neighbors don't got anything good.
Isn't that weird when like the Bible's like, yo, watch out for being jealous, and it's just like, dog, I ain't got shit to be jealous of.
I got everything. Hey.
Hey, get wrecked, God.
I don't think they mean your physical neighbors either. They're just saying people.
Oh, in general.
No, you're allowed to covet everyone else. Just don't cover people that live it. Don't covet people that live geographically, like near you.
Yeah, that was definitely helpful back in the olden times, when you had to share clotheslines and animals. I think.
Really, I feel like back in the day you'd have all the space, although you had to stick together for like basic resources.
Yeah, you had to like have a barter system of some kind, and you don't want to travel down the street to be like, you got any hens? And they're like, nah, dude, I just got maps.
The two things that people need.
Maps and hens. Maps and hens.
What are some of the Twitch channels you've been watching lately that you like?
Oh, right. We were getting down that road, weren't we? I've been watching that Lord Spew channel we were hanging out in. Yeah, go fuck off and hang out somewhere else, everybody. But I've been watching that Lord Spew channel.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Yonan Vasquez. I've been he does some Twitch streaming. Although I watch him when he does like Google streams, not so much. Did I say Google streams? Doodle streams. Not so much when he's playing like Overwatch, some shit like that. But when Yonan Vasquez is like doing sketch things, I've been watching that Tom Thinks channel, which I really enjoy.
Nice.
And then just like some folks who I know, and some folks who I am aware of through folks I know.
I'm watching more too. I'm trying to find ways to taking notes. I'm trying to find ways to make this show more engaging and like interactive and interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing like the setups people have for what they can do with their Twitch streams.
It's cool.
Yeah, that Tom Thinks guy. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to sit in, but his stuff is just really impressive. Like, kind of blew my mind when I realized he was doing it live. Because I was just like, there's no way he's like animating his characters' mouths. Like, he has it set up so like he presses buttons on his keyboard and the characters' mouths move in coordination with what he's saying. And he talks and then like has that character's mouth move at the same time.
That sounds impossible, but that's impressive.
Definitely, like, that is a amount of sort of like multitasking that I imagine if I like practiced a whole bunch, maybe I could get the hang of it.
It's like playing the piano, something where you just know where to put your fingers to hear a certain noise, like whistling. Yeah, whistling is something that's interesting to me. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you have to say about whistling.
It's weird because it's the same idea as like an instrument, but like most people who can whistle can do it pretty decently. But if you ever explained like how to like try to explain how to whistle a certain note to somebody,
oh yeah,
it's almost impossible to do. But it's just muscle memory.
And like even when you're first learning to whistle, like you pretty much get right away how to. You can like feel it almost immediately how you change notes.
Very intuitive instrument, so to speak.
Weird how it works. If you had to try and describe how you change, like try and describe how you get a higher pitch with
have
whistling
to
right
change the shape of your mouth as well as where your tongue is in your mouth. So I think
now.
ultimately
That's pretty good.
But yeah, but still, like if you're like, how do I do an A? It's impossible.
Oh god. What's an A sound like?
Also possible for me, at least. I'm not musically, I have no musical ability.
There are those folks who can be like, that's a B flat major extended seventh.
It's kind of like someone who can sing. They might not know notes,
Yeah.
but they know how to make a certain sound.
Yeah, like I've made a decent amount of music in my time, but I'm still terrible with music theory and like like I can't tell you what chords. I at this point I can tell you the root note of I think any chords for songs that I've made if I have like a piano next to me so I can like feel it out. Like I couldn't be like bling, oh that's an E. I'd have to be like bling, and then I'd hit the button on my keyboard till I find the one that sounds like that, and then I'm gonna be like, oh that's an E.
You know,
But
it's however you get the job done.
however you get it done, fella.
I feel like if you know more, it makes it a little bit easier for yourself, but it doesn't necessarily need to be the case.
Exactly, but it's helpful, and I have been sort of slowly learning the process. I couldn't tell you, you know, this is with a major extended seventh on a, you know, all that stuff. I couldn't do that, but I can at least say that's an A from hearing it, but not like, well, like I just described. I just went through that.
Yeah.
But it helps to know that stuff. I had a roommate, and
me too.
still a good friend. Oh, cool. How was that?
Having a roommate?
Yeah.
It was good. I still have a roommate, but I'm also romantically involved, so...
Yeah, now you sometimes kiss each other on the face and stuff, right?
Right. Like, I used to kiss my roommates, but, you know, only while they were asleep, so...
Uh-oh. Guys, I think Brandon just got canceled.
Oh yeah, you were asking if I committed a crime. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Solve 2 questions with one... Wait. Yeah, solve 2 questions with 1 answer.
2 birds.
Right there.
1 crime.
2 birds, 1 crime.
2 girls.
Hot tub crime machine.
1... I forget what I was gonna say. Anyways. So... You were saying...
I don't know what I was saying anymore. I got distracted by thinking about 2 girls, 1 cup. Yeah. Such art.
It is, you know. After that happens, as an artist, it's hard to go out there and still try to make stuff when you know, like...
You've already made the best thing possible, you know?
The full potential of humankind has been reached.
Yeah. That's like Alexander looked out on the lands and wept for there were no more worlds left to conquer. It's like that sort of vibe, you know?
Exactly the same vibe. Wait, I got it. 3 girls, 1 cup.
Oh snap! And they're all playing Yahtzee.
Wow.
They're all playing Yahtzee.
It's just nothing gross about it. Well, I don't want to say
Nothing
gross.
gross
I don't
about
want yuck yums.
No one's got a yuck yums here, except that video was intensely.
That video physically yucked. One person yucked another person's yum.
Yeah, actively. Good lord.
Well,
Why?
I'll have you know. I hate that we're talking about this. Now it's my
No,
fault.
we can stop anytime.
I read doing research that...
I think I know what you're gonna say,
Yeah.
and feel
Should
free,
not
I
even
guess.
bother?
I mean, look. Maybe it'll do somebody some.
Fun fact.
I thought about. Here's the thing. I thought about bringing this up myself and saying that you had found this out. But then I was just like, you know, I'd like to try and stray from this path.
Let's, you know,
as
if you want to
much
do
as
extensive
possible.
research about the production and design of that set, you can do that on your
I
own
just
time.
wanted to not talk about Two Girls, One Cup
All
as
right.
much as possible. No, but you can tell it. We're already here.
No, it's fine.
We're at this juncture. The path has been... You've crossed the fork in the road. There's no turning back.
The whole thing was animated. It's not real. So there you go.
It was all an animation, everybody.
That's the fun fact. It was Pixar when they were looking for work before Toy Story.
So now I know you're lying to them. So feel free to just say it. I have a gun
It was
to your
ice
head right
cream.
now.
It was ice cream.
That's the truth. That is what he
I
discovered.
mean, the means of
Let's-
transportation are the same.
Yeah, it's still not great.
So it's not like it's appetizing now, but to me, but you know, it gives me, I can sleep a little bit more sound at night knowing this information.
So that's, you know, if you folks were looking to finally cure the demon in your mind that was...
I've been trying not to
The
bring
mystery-
it up, but you know, 66 episodes in, I can't hold these things in anymore. I don't care. I'm whistleblowing.
I mean, look, it's not like I have a much better track record of talking about...
It's true. I honestly, I think it's more like it seems worse because it's me. Because I'm usually...
I guess you're right when you...
I don't... I typically, I think, keep it pretty PG.
Normally the roles are reversed, I would say.
That's right.
I'm the one who's like, hey, you guys want to talk about fisting? And, you know, there we are going down on that
Get a
conversational
resounding
route.
yes.
I guess they want to talk about fisting. Let's talk about fisting. What are we gonna name this episode? Oh God. Let's talk about fisting.
It seems like the obvious choice, but it also seems like a quick way to...
We could call it truck escapades.
There you go. It's perfect. So, Ian, have you
What
been
if-
playing anything?
Just more Yakuza, my buddy, and some Sea of Thieves with you. And we've been playing Anno again. You've been somewhat playing Anno, but not
Yeah, I'm not
quite.
sure it's my cup of tea so much.
I feel ya.
I'm not, I've never really been into the so much of the Sims, world builders, RTS type progression type games. That's
Not much of a management sim kind of guy.
I hadn't done it in a long time, so I thought maybe I'd be like, maybe I'll like it now, but it's not
See,
really.
that was kind of the vibe with me is I hadn't gotten into management sims for a while. And then I saw somebody, like a YouTube series of a guy playing City Skylines, and I was like, oh, this game looks dope. But then I was like, oh, but I remember playing SimCity as a child and sucking at it and hating it. So maybe it's not my... But I'm older now. Maybe
a
I
child
like
should
it.
not be managing a city, anyways.
Children should not be managing cities. I just kept
vote these
unleashing
people in?
Godzilla. Right? Well, who was like, yeah, let's go to the city with a child mayor. That'll be fun.
That's a Disney movie made
That
for
is a Disney
television.
movie.
It's not. It's a television Disney movie. It's not real. You don't hire a child to plan a city.
Coming out of the Disney Channel, Child Mayor. I don't know how to manage this city.
The
water honey.
slides go over here.
Oh, honey, you'll be the best child mayor that's ever existed. Can Tommy Burbank solve the city's water crisis and manage the city as the new deputy mayor made mayor? Wiggle, wiggle, whir. Hold on. There we go. That's the sound I was trying to do. I was saying that noise, so that I could get that queued up faster.
You were stalling.
Child mayor. Sorry, what?
You were stalling, is what you're saying.
I was vamping, is what I was doing.
Lamping?
What was that?
Lamping?
Vamping.
Oh.
It's sort of where you just like build up anticipation for something.
Okay. I don't think I've heard that term, but I believe you.
It's a term that exists. Matt on his podcast has like I've kind of made fun of him about it a little bit, but in the one episode of the podcast, he's like, all right, I'm gonna queue up this thing. I'm gonna start vamping here. And he just started making like gibberish noises with his mouth. And he's like, what? That is not vamping. That is just making noises. Because like vamping is supposed basically just sort of, you're getting something queued up. So you're just sort of like running out the clock till you got that by like saying gibberish. But vamping is definitely not going.
That might get some people hype.
I thought it was hilarious. I wanted to hear more of it. Check out, Maddie Fritzler is also a stream I have been watching a lot lately. Whenever Maddie Fritzler is streaming.
It's quality entertainment.
It's quality entertainment. I enjoy his streams. They're a good time. He's good at those sports games.
It's good stuff.
And good stuff. Check him out, folks. It's a lot of fun. It's been a lot easier to keep up with friends' Twitch streams because I found out how to get notifications for my desktop going. So like if someone's like streaming, I'll get like a pop-up on my computer.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I'll be like,
I should do that.
What was that?
I have it for like email or like on my phone, but on my computer would be useful.
Yeah. So like I'll be like here working, and then like in the bottom right of my main screen, it will just be like, Matty F is live now. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I can watch my friend's stream. So that's been kind of really helping me to keep more up to date with this sort of stuff.
How'd you set that up?
If you go here, let me just check my Twitch real quick. I went to settings, I went to notifications, and then I turned on smart notifications, and I went to on Twitch. Notifications turned on. I set that up, and then on Windows, if you go to notifications and action settings, you can actually get notification from these senders, and then I have it set up on my Firefox.
Wow, it's elaborate, but not really.
It was more than I expected. Also, actually, I'm not seeing it there. I forget how I did it exactly. I googled it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to explain it to me right now.
Yeah,
even though
I recommend
right
everyone
now.
does that though.
Well, I'll look into that. That sounds like a good thing to do.
I agree. It kind of really helped me keep up to date with friends when they start streaming, which I love supporting friends.
Friends supporting friends. What else? What else do you need?
In perfect harmony. So that's been cool. It's been a lot of fun doing that. Just kind of watching people just live their lives out essentially, but virtually, and I get to basically yell at them belligerently.
Right.
And then they might sometimes respond is fun.
It's great. It's a good time. I pop into your stuff.
You do.
You pop
I try
into
and pop
mine.
into yours. I had a lot of fun streaming earlier today because thanks to Dr. Soundcheck, Mark, friend of the show, guest on the show, he let his Discord channel know. And then his Discord channel, someone on there who's really nice and has watched me and Mark play Phasmophobia, alerted their friends and Discord channels that they're on. And so I got like 5 or 6 new followers today, and like
nice.
For a while I had 9 people watching the stream.
That's when I was in there.
That's when you were in there, and it was a lot of fun. I got to just chat with people. It was a good time. So I'm having fun with that. It's been interesting, sort of doing like I've checked, and I've apparently only started streaming literally at the end of March. Like March 31st was the first day in a long time that I streamed. So it's been interesting getting back into it, but I really do enjoy doing it because I'm an attention whore.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Twitch is for, right? That's why we're all here.
Basically, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't... I mean, I have to assume that you have a level of attention whore and you as
Sure.
well.
Sure. Definitely. You know,
Why else
if
would we
people
do
aren't
this?
complimenting me, then I don't feel like I don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning.
Damn right. If someone says you're doing a good job, and if someone's not saying that, how do I know I exist?
Exactly.
You know?
That's the thing.
By the way, I'm sorry I put this 50% gray on this terrible layer choice to put the 50. I thought I was on a different layer, and it's just made our
Alright.
lives a lot harder for coloring this.
I'm not that worried about it. It's gonna be just fine, I think.
I'm so sorry.
Oh well. Sorry doesn't undo the problems you caused.
Okay, I'm done.
Is that
I'm not gonna make that
crying?
noise anymore. Hey, aren't you glad I got that noise limiter installed for my microphone?
Yeah, I can't wait till you start using it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Ouch. Ouch much?
Ouch, Mitch.
Ouch much. The German expression for when one is ouched.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I'm pretty sure.
Like I just noticed what's going on with your fireman poster. That's fantastic.
I just want to contribute to the art of the walls.
I still need to write some captions on these post-it notes, and then once we're done coloring, we just gotta caption those post-its, and then we're good to go.
Oh, you're looking to caption all of them, huh?
I was hoping to caption all of them.
All right, I like it. That attention to detail.
You know, I like to, if there's like little details, it's like that column next to Mr. Incredible. I like to throw details that the audience might not catch right away, but if they're attentive and they like to pay attention to that stuff, they can see like all that stuff. That's like my favorite shit.
Right. Little
That
subtle
level
details.
of that attention to detail.
Gotta like it. Gotta love it. This is from our calendar, Working Bombs. You can buy this soon.
Working bombs. Wow. That's a good one. Funny. When I was working in the one restaurant, we were discussing the idea of like, we were like, how do we get more fucking tips and stuff? And I was like, what if someone had I discussed the idea of doing like a sexy poster, like calendar thing. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. Like, I'll wear half of a fireman's outfit. You know, whichever half they want me to wear.
Mm-hmm. Just the top half of your gigantic coat and like a gas mask, and then your dick's out.
Just out ducking it in a fireman's coat.
They can't even see who it is because you're wearing all the gear.
That's hilarious. But that would have been a lot of fun. I would have totally relished the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Would have been scandalous. It would have been a lot of fun. And then we talked about doing like dinner theater, like a murder mystery dinner theater, because like half the people who I worked with were like actors and actresses.
And would the people running the place go for you turning their restaurant into a dinner theater place?
You know, I don't think the ideas ever trickled up to the decision makers in any sort of meaningful capacity. I was super about it though. It sounded like a dope idea.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
That one was not my idea either, but I loved it. I loved both those ideas. Like anything to like kind of shake things up at the restaurant. I was like, hell yeah, I'm about it. We cater weddings all the time. Let's do some dinner theater. But that's okay.
Those types of things you just gotta do them without asking. You know, just in the
Yeah, you
middle
gotta
of
do it without
dinner,
management.
all of a sudden, the room just turns into a very organized and choreographed like dinner theater performance.
Just surprise people with a fake murder that we're playing off as very real.
That's a bold move. It usually can end with going to jail.
Yeah, I feel like that, like, unless someone's gonna be like, I'm sorry, is that person actually dead though? And we'll have to be like, yes! Murder most foul. It's okay. It's not really a real murder. By the way, do you want your entrees now, or do you want to wait till after the first act?
You are not gonna want to miss this. You won't be able to chew your meal because your jaws will be on the floor.
Whoa, bro.
No, I want my meal now. Okay, fine. Sorry.
That's good dinner theater patter right there. Would you do a sexy calendar shoot given the opportunity? Like if a bunch of folks who you enjoyed and appreciated were like sort of all agreeing that like, hey, we're all gonna do this calendar, would you do it?
Probably. It would partially depend on like why it's being done.
Fair.
Like
I think it's a good point. I think context matters.
As far as like the group, sure, that'd be the first thing that would get me in. But like, yeah, I'd be kind of curious, like the project, like why are we making this thing? You know.
Like for us, like for instance, our context was like we weren't gonna be serious about it. We were gonna have like fun with it and be goofy.
Right.
And it was gonna be just like really mostly just hilarious for us.
Yeah.
With no intentions of it turning actually into like any sort of sultry, you know, like oh my.
Actually sexy thing.
Ian really dropped trow in this latest calendar.
You know, it's lewd, but very very artistic and tasteful.
The amount of Ian's asshole that you can see is very tasteful. You just see a little bit of pucker right there, and the rest of it's concealed by his his gimp mask. I don't know.
Jesus.
And we're back to normal now. My God. You know what? Coloring things is such a tedious process.
That's why most artists that are successful just hire someone else to do it.
True, I've always dreamed of hiring somebody to ink my stuff for me and to color my stuff for me. That would be the dream.
And to design it. And then I just somehow get paid for that work.
Yeah.
More than what I paid them to make it. I don't know.
Somehow I still end up making out like a bandit.
I'm just gonna tell all three of those people involved that they'll get really good exposure for this, and that'll be
boom, done.
Then they're gonna be interested
Nailed
immediately
it.
because what artist wouldn't be? Someone who hates opportunity, maybe.
Yeah, someone who doesn't care about money.
They don't want to succeed.
They've got to exist. Poors don't want to don't want to succeed because otherwise they wouldn't be poor.
Exactly.
Duh.
First you have to buy some bootstraps, and then after you get
and you gotta
those,
pull yourself up by those babies.
You grab them real tight. And then there's some steps in between there, and then at the end, you're able to afford healthcare. I think
it helps to inherit a large fortune.
Right. Well, that's the biggest part of it. But
so have a rich uncle who dies. What, you didn't have a rich uncle?
I had a rich uncle, but he didn't give me any of his money.
Have you ever known anybody who had a rich family member that didn't know about pass away, and then leaving them with an inheritance, possibly a house?
No, not one they didn't know about. Also, no, I don't think so.
So you don't know any Mr. Deeds type friends?
Not personally, no. How about you?
Actually, yes.
Yeah. I feel like it has to actually happen. It's probably I think when our generation dies, people younger than us are going to have a lot of those situations because I feel like our generation is having less kids. So there's gonna be a lot of us that are like, I don't know, leave it to my niece and nephew.
That's fair. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I get that.
I'm not just gonna burn it up like the fireplace when I die. Like, I guess I'll give it to someone.
Yeah, you're gonna give it to
who's
somebody.
the next of kin that I actually like. Maybe like my brother's kid or like distant, somebody.
Yeah. I can see that. That makes a lot of sense. And like for my one friend, like I don't think he knew the relative, but their mom did, which is but like he had no idea. And then that relative died and just left them like a good chunk of money and like a nice house.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really good for them too because like it really helped them out.
They needed some help.
I'm not sure if they needed help, but it was definitely appreciated, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would bet so.
That was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not going to say who.
No, you probably shouldn't. And his name was Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein, noted movie critic.
Einstein
always gave things 2 atom bombs up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy. What sort of landmine have we stepped on here? Oh gosh, I was really hoping we could have this cubicle picture finished by the first hour, but...
We failed.
You know?
We've been talking a lot. Like, I know we always do, but I feel like more. Like
this episode?
Well, not necessarily more, but I've been like stopping drawing to talk, and I normally keep drawing always.
I feel like the opposite. I feel like I've actually managed to keep on track for more consistent in this than previous episodes.
You have been.
The scissor arm.
You've been going.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you have been drawing the whole time.
This scissor arm that I got from my microphone, which I think this is the first DrawBomb where I've had this set up, right?
I think so.
Huh.
It's either last one or this one, but I think this is the first one.
Yeah. But yeah, for the folks who are watching, anyone who may not have been a part of previous streams, previous projects that I'm in, I did get a scissor arm for my microphone, so it's in a much better position. Stuff makes less noise. I can put it closer to my face so I can turn the gate up. There's a lot of nice features I can do for it, but most of all, it lets me just get my fucking mouth right up to this microphone, and then I don't feel as like compelled to shout because I can just talk smooth and like comfortably into this thing without having to like project. Which keeps me calm because like if I feel like I have to start yelling, which I never needed to yell, but like it does help to speak louder for the microphone to pick you up when it's not right at your face. So I feel like I get less caught up in like yelling out the stuff I was saying. So I kind of keeps me calmer.
Where'd you get your scissor arm from Tim Burton?
Edward Scissorhands' distant cousin from Latvia.
A little delayed there.
That's okay. Hold on. I got it off Amazon. I didn't want to give Amazon money, but at the same time, it was only $20. And I was like,
it's hard not to give them money.
Especially when like like they're the only place that offers a product sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, to be fair though, Amazon also makes most of their money by selling your data and by server hosting, so yeah, I think they actually sell their stuff mostly at a loss. Like they're able to offer such jacked down prices because of the server
impossible to compete for that reason.
Yeah, they make it pretty much impossible to compete with them because they already have their fingers in so many pies because they're already successful. That they just kind of... That's how they undercut all the other businesses. And by making sure their employees can't take piss breaks.
That's where they really
is it that time again?
Time for what?
The fuck Jeff Bezos hour?
Yeah, well, it's actually 2 hours.
True.
It lasts the whole show.
You know what else is 2 hours?
What?
Jeff Bezos is fucking how shiny his bald head is, that prick. I don't know.
He gets a wax. Takes 2 hours.
He gets a wax. Like, it looks like a fucking dumbass with his bald ass, waxed ass head. Hey buddy, you couldn't buy yourself some hair?
He totally could. If you have that much money, he could have like a full head of hair somehow, even if
Yeah.
even if there's no like option to the everyman that is like known about, he could find something with that kind of money.
Oh, 100%. He could kill somebody and steal their hair and get away with it because he's Jeff Bezos. And then he chooses to go looking like a dumbass.
Like a skin suit, so it wouldn't be that.
God,
He
Jeff
needs to cut someone's
Bezos.
face off who has hair on top and then wear it.
Yeah. He's
People
actually an
will still buy
alien.
stuff from him. Yeah. Like all the
He's a conehead.
billionaires are.
He's got a prosthetic cone head, and the only thing that really is able to squash that down into a normal human head size is a bald cap that makes you look like a fucking idiot.
What do you think Jeff Bezos is doing right now?
Sucking.
Got
Not
him.
sucking anything specific, but just in general. I don't know, probably killing an orphan for the fun of it.
Like fun with like a bow and arrow, like in the woods.
I was thinking just like strangling it with his bare hands so he can watch the life drain out of their eyes.
I assumed he was into the sport of it, but maybe not.
He does a little bit of both. Like, I was thinking like
The most dangerous game.
you know, a dangerous game, orphans. I feel like the orphans are an easy hunt.
Yeah.
So he would want something more difficult. But the orphans, he can just strangle those. Kind of like on, you know, that episode of South Park where like it's the retelling of Great Expectations.
Yeah.
And at the end, Pip is trying to convince Mish Havisham's daughter or surrogate daughter that she's good. So he keeps giving her like rabbits. He's like, 3 rabbits, and then she just like breaks the rabbits' necks in front of him.
Yeah. Probably be something
Like that. Yeah, it's like that. Both orphan children. He's just like,
I'm gonna use the
Not
bathroom
done
real
yet.
quick while you're finishing up this background, and then we'll
okay.
move on.
And I'll just keep talking about fuck Jeff Bezos. You guys, if I were to ever see Jeff Bezos in person, I would probably leave him alone because he's probably got mad security detail. Because he's such a scaredy pants. Richest man in like the world, like a security detail, because like somebody might get near him. Fuck that guy, man. What a piece of shit. How about you pay your workers, dog? But you give them breaks? How about you not be a heartless bastard? You're listening to DrawBomb Live. Brandon's at the bathroom. We used to have 3 people in the chat. We're down to a whopping 0 people in the chat. I think maybe I'm in there, but I'm there to check the chat. Back is hurting. Like, that is actually the other problem I've had with my scissor arm. I hear Brandon coming back, so he's gonna hear me just saying shit to nobody.
I've returned.
Wrong with my scissor arm. Hello, welcome back. I've noticed that with my scissor arm, my posture hurts my back.
Oh. So maybe you need to stretch it out further to you rather than you going to it.
I think so, but I can't get my webcam out further, so all of a sudden I'm like a tiny dude sitting in the back.
I'm sitting that far away. Look at me.
Yeah, your camera's much nicer than mine, actually. I've seen your I've seen your settings. I don't have any of those settings, so your camera probably zooms in a little further. It has those extra lenses.
I think I can zoom it in. I don't know.
Oh, you haven't zoomed it in?
Not much. This is pretty much normal, I think. I don't know.
My webcam shuffled a little closer to me. Alright, I'm sitting back in the chair right now. I've got the scissor arm out to me. It's not the easiest drawing setup, but then again, drawing on the computer is kind of an uncomfortable situation sometimes.
Yeah.
My desk setup
agree.
is just... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just agreeing with you.
Well, maybe you can disagree. No,
Fuck you, I love drawing on the computer. Feels great. My spine is not shitty now.
Oh, shit. Oh my god, I should see a chiropractor.
Probably. Oh yeah, I can zoom it in some. Let's see.
I'm actually zoomed in a little bit myself.
It zoomed in some and then it just stopped at a certain point.
Yeah, like mine's like when I go to my webcam settings, it's like you can zoom in, but like it stops zooming at pretty much 150%.
Yeah.
But it goes all the
same.
way to like 200. Okay.
So mine
Yeah, I don't
stops
get that.
at 150 and goes to 400.
What's the point?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. I'm not
Weird.
gonna zoom. I can mess with the focus, the exposure. I can pan. What does the pan do?
I'm actually
Nothing.
noticing my frame rate
Tilt?
appears to be a little low.
Tilt does nothing. Roll. Nothing.
Nothing.
Low light compensation. That's not a prop.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure why they have the settings like that, but it's also interesting because have like it set so that I have it set so that the thing is on auto exposure, so that it kind of automatically fixes the exposure, which sometimes makes it so bright that I'm like ghostly white, which I am in real life, but like the camera could
Help
fix
you out
that a little bit.
Thought we were friends, camera.
I know, right? But when I try and set the exposure to a decent level in my camera set, like if I take my camera off auto exposure, all of a sudden the thing's like frame rate slows down to like 16 frames a second. It's insane.
Yeah, that won't do. Mine has the option for 30 or 60 FPS. I think I have it at 60 right now.
I think mine's at 62, but like the frame rate, like if I mess with the
wow.
exposure, if I make it like at all reasonable, it just slows the hell down. But so I have to put on auto exposure because like then it brightens the image to the same amount, but then doesn't have that weird frame rate hiccup. It makes no sense.
Strange.
Yeah,
Pretty strange.
pretty strange. Have you been playing any fun games?
I have been. I've been playing. Well, first of all, we played a lot of Sea of Thieves last night. That was pretty fun.
Sure
I've been
did.
playing it. We did another night recently too, so that's pretty good. And then also I've been replaying Red Dead 2, which is really fun. I've been streaming some of it on here. Haven't really gotten into doing it too much, but I want to do more of it. I don't know. It's a fun game. I feel like you get into a bunch of weird situations.
Especially if you don't follow like the main story path, you just sort of do your own thing. Like that
Right.
game has ample space and opportunity for
sure.
those types of shenanigans to unfold.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I've been doing that. And I'm expecting to do more. It's hard because that game looks so nice, it doesn't really... OBS kind of lags trying to stream it. Maybe I'm not sure what I would have to improve on my end to make that run better. But
It's going to be the, I think that's the Elgato thing then at that point.
it's not though. I actually looked into that, and that's for people who don't. Basically, if you already have a, I think, good enough GPU, the Elgato, all it's going to do is add an extra step of encoding to things, and can even slow it down more because it's like one extra like middleman to go through.
But yeah, I think what people do is they hook their Elgato up to the monitor, and then they have it its output go to like a tablet or some secondary device.
Okay.
And then they use that device to stream on. So they have one computer that's doing dedicated gaming, and then the other computer that's actually handling the output, like the streaming and stuff.
That's totally correct. Because like what I read, people are like, if you only have one computer, then you don't need an Elgato.
Yeah. So
okay.
yeah, that's I think that's because like I have like a Windows Surface Pro, which is a little Microsoft Windows tablet. If I wanted to get an Elgato, I could, I guess, and then use that as like the actual streaming output.
Gotcha.
Which would actually be super convenient for several reasons. Although I don't have like a desk that would be good for that. So it would still take some configuration, but I think that would be probably like that's like obviously the dream setup, and then like you have one of those like stream key button things, whatever those are called.
Right. Interesting. Well, maybe one day I'll try something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you have a Wacom tablet, don't you? Like a Wacom like laptop?
Yeah, I also have a Mac. For old one.
Yeah, you could
probably
you could technically use those as your
do it.
As your things if you're trying to really. But I mean, an Elgato is like $200, and like OBS is free.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
It's a matter of like the benefit has to be apparent before you're willing to make the cost. I think, especially.
Right.
Prices like that.
Very true. I need to do it for my one viewer.
Me.
Exactly.
All right. Gosh, this picture is colored.
It sure is.
I'm gonna do one more thing before you save it. Don't you dare touch that dial.
I don't save it with a dial. I use a mouse. And like a series of menus.
I was talking about dial soap. Don't you dare touch it. It's mine.
Oh, do you not
don't want to
wash your hands before you do everything? Not just me.
No, I do. I just don't want you to use my soap. Then it's pointless. Like then you've got your germs all over my soap.
But it's soap, so you can't get germs on soap because soap is the enemy of a germ.
Yeah, but they only kill 99.9%.
That's true. So there'll still be a germ living, one germ on the soap.
All it takes is one.
I feel like 99.9% of germs still leaves like a million germs.
I feel like it does. That or they're just covering their asses. They're just if like a germ lives, someone can't be like, hey,
yeah,
you said you'd get all the germs.
Right.
Do you want to add some subtitles to these or some captions to these post-its?
Sure, I'll do a few of them.
Not gonna take too long on these. Which do you think it is? Do you think it's a liability thing, or do you think it's a actual scientific statistic?
I think a little of both. I don't think the number is an accurate statistic. Like I don't think it's actually that many, or maybe it's like under 1%, and that's just their way of making it a nice to look at number.
More marketable.
Yeah. I'd say a little of both.
Okay.
Ultimately, though, I think there's such a great number of them that even like less than 1% of them still is a good amount of them.
Yeah. There's like a Cracked article I read a long time ago about like the dirtiest things in your house or whatever, and like they were like counting the amount of germs on things. And for like one that was like an insane amount of germs, it was just like, what the fuck? Don't you just start seeing them at that point?
Right. Yeah. When did they become visible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder actually, how many germs do there need to be for you to see them? Is that like mold or something? Well, no, it's not mold. That's
I have to assume it's kind of mold though, isn't it? Like how many germs before they are visible? Yes, most bacteria are too small to be seen with a microscope, without a microscope. But in 1999, scientists working off the coast of Namibia discovered a bacterium called Theomargarita namibiensis, sulfur pearl of Namibia, whose individual cells can grow up to be 0.75 millimeters wide. Its comparatively huge size is due to hydrogen sulfide gaseous cavity causes it to blow up like a balloon. That doesn't really answer my question.
That's
though.
a different thing. That's just the biggest germ they know about.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can. I don't think there's ever going to be enough of a buildup of germs. I think they're just too small to ever be, like, no matter what, there's just never going to be a significant enough buildup. Maybe. I have no idea. If we had, like, a fan base, we could be like, scientists in the chat, check us out. Let us know.
Oh, germs. Germ facts.
Oh, germ
We don't
facts
have any.
with the DrawBomb crew. Nice dick that you drew. That sounds like a weird thing to say. Just all of a sudden, just like nice dick,
Nice
dude.
cock! Thank you. Let me save this. Can I touch the dial now?
One more second. All right.
Days.
Train Mondays, but you know the handle's there, so you can't really write the whole. Like no one's gonna put the word coming through the handle.
They could, if they were innovators. See, that fear is what's holding them back from them.
Those people
from
aren't
being in
willing
the
to think
big
outside the
mug
box.
game.
You are able to touch that dial now.
Okay. Boom. It's saved.
Whoa, the dial. Folks, I don't know if you know. It's been touched by an angel.
Which one? The lady, the other lady, or the guy that kills people?
David Boreanaz.
That's the wrong show.
Isn't that Angel?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's David Boreanaz from Bones. He's Angel from Buffy.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
And then he had his own spin-off show, Angel.
Touched by an angel.
That's a yeah. Have you seen Touched by an Angel?
Yes.
You have?
I was raised in a conservative house, Christian home.
Is that a conservative show? What is that? I actually don't know anything about
Touched by
that
an
show.
Angel is just like, it's supposed to be like feel good, like religious show where like people are living sinful lives, and then all of a sudden one of these three angels show up and kind of show them the error of their ways, and then they realize like, oh, I need to be a better person.
And that's
every
the show?
Yeah, basically. Every
So
episode.
you yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. So like somebody would be like shitty person, and then these one of these three like actors who play the angels in the show would show up as like people involved in like they would just be like, I'm the secretary, but like you the viewer knows that hey, it's the angels. It was two ladies.
This is a show that exists.
Yeah, and then at the end, end of every episode would be like the people seeing the error of their ways, and then the person would be like, "I'm an angel of God," and they would like start glowing, and people would be like, "Oh my God!" And then they would be better people because I don't know. And then there's this third angel who was the angel of death, and sometimes if people died, he would just like show up, and it was like a surprise to the other angels. They'd be trying to help, and all of a sudden he'd like walk into the room, and they'd be like, "No!" And he'd be like, "Sorry, it's 11." And
Oh
then
my God.
you wouldn't say it like that, but yeah, it was dumb. We should watch some Touched by an Angel on the stream.
Is it on Amazon Prime? Because actually, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I don't know what's on Amazon Prime.
You start drawing some drawings. I'm gonna go Google it real quick.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It is?
It just says season 9.
Oh, the best season.
But okay, here's season 1. You need to have Paramount Plus. And it doesn't look like they have the full seasons. Wow, these screenshots definitely show you that this show took place in 1995. Really, that's what the video quality was in 1995. Oh, jeez.
There was 2 angels. I believe they're both ladies. One was like an older lady, and one was like a younger lady. And they were
Hilarious.
angels.
The comments on the Amazon channels are pretty interesting as well.
Can we hear some of those, or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't want to be like too. A lot of these are just like people who are religious, so I don't want to feel like I'm being too mean. But
Oh, we don't have to dig into that. No.
I'll just read one. No, this one's not even that funny. But it's basically people just starting to spout scripture after saying like, this show is so wholesome.
That's what the show was.
Yeah,
It was a
it's
religious
mostly people
show.
saying like, yeah, it seems like a very religious type of show. Is it like always like, was there a lot of scripture going on in that where they talk about God and Jesus
Yeah.
and all that?
Yeah.
Thing.
At the end, when like they see the error of their ways, there's a little bit of that from what I remember. I mean, granted, I was like 10 or younger.
Man, if only your family knew the life you live now.
They'd be so proud of me.
Full of sin.
What? I didn't sin. What did I do?
Bro,
I told you I didn't covet my neighbor.
you didn't covet your neighbor? Oh, never mind then. You're good. This is me with long hair I'm drawing right now, and just looks goofy.
It looks just like you.
I
Your
look
hair
like
has a
this,
lot of
ladies,
volume.
gentlemen. What was that?
Your hair has a lot of volume.
Very bouncy. I've been told by multiple barbers I have good hair. Good, thick, luscious hair.
Wow.
Alright, I'm gonna look at the picture of David
Barbers usually
Boreanaz
tell me,
now.
"Hey, you need an appointment. Get out of my chair."
You don't need this. You don't need to get a haircut, sir. Your hair is just fine the way it is. No, but I'd like a cut. No, it's against the barber's code. Couldn't bring myself to lay a finger on such glorious manes. Locks.
Manes.
You have a glorious mane.
They're like, we just, we can't cut hair that we like. It's wrong. Then we cut terrible
Nice.
hair that we want less of in the world.
It's the barber's code. I'm drawing David Boreanaz now behind me. But I don't think it's gonna look a lot like David Boreanaz.
It might.
I know, like Terrence Howard.
Yeah, that one's good.
Turned out pretty good. Yeah, I can't complain. What are you drawing? Looks like, is that one of the angels from the show?
None of the angels look like that, but I was drawing an angel.
What a character right there. What's their name?
I don't know. Gabriel.
How
name.
biblical.
It's an angelic name.
Very angelic name.
What do angel wings look like?
They look like bat wings.
No, that's the wrong kind of angel. You're thinking of devil angels.
What if you gave him bumblebee wings?
That's a good look. I mean, what are angel wings? Dove wings?
Yeah, basically.
Doves are kind of gross. I don't know why they get all the...
I think it's the only type of wings that they had seen at that point. They were like, it's like, you ever see that like Renaissance painting that's supposed to have a dolphin in it and it just looks like a weird fucked up like river dog or some shit like that?
Yeah, they didn't really have the best grip on animals and some of that stuff.
No, it took them a while. Here it is. Here's David Boreanaz.
That looks like him.
I think if I were to show somebody that picture and be like, who that? They wouldn't say David Boreanaz. I think if I said, look, I drew this guy, and they're like, who's that? And I said, David Boreanaz. They'd be like, yeah, all right.
It's David. No, you show that to anyone, they're gonna go, oh, that's a pretty good rendition of David Boreanaz of Bones fame.
Bones, fame from Bones, Angel. That's the only two things I can think of that David Boreanaz has been in.
Touched by a bone angel.
A Bone Angel. Hold on though. That's a sweet name for a metal band.
I was thinking the same thing.
Or just Bone Angel, but Touched by a Bone Angel would also be a great name for a metal band. They're both pretty good.
What is a bone angel?
I don't know. I
Doesn't
feel like
matter.
that's what we could draw last in our last 10 minutes of the show. Which, by the way, I think this is the first time we've started the show relatively on time in a while.
Good for us. We did it.
Good for us. We did such a good job.
The bare minimum.
Show up on time.
Let's get some awards and for us. There we go. There's an angel.
That's an angel, all right. A Bone Angel. I think looks. This.
I'm gonna draw a bone angel. 2.
This is like a mini rock, paper, pencil.
There's my bone angel. It's kind of cute.
I think you're spelling angel wrong, buddy.
What? It's a cute bone angel.
Oh my god, what a cute bone. I fucking hate you, man.
Ugh.
Wait, I have something for this.
Boo, you stink! Boo, you stink! Boo, you stink! Boo, you stink!
Sorry, I just wanted to get that
Just go
at
until
least
I
the amount
erase
of
it.
times I was feeling it. Might add. Boo, you fucking stink. No, it's fine. It's funny. I laughed. I got a good laugh out of it. You know, there's no way to draw like a skeleton without it taking a very long time if you want it to look like a accurate skeleton.
Right. You gotta like. I feel like you gotta like. There's cheat codes along the way.
Yeah.
Like certain little like shortcuts you can take.
Shorthand. You gotta like develop a shorthand. David Boreanaz, Bone Angel.
It's hard to draw a skeleton with a long hand.
Yes, this is accurate.
an angel. I was an angel all along.
Ah, He-Man, I'm a bone angel.
It's the reveal. Oh my god, you're an angel. Shit.
Yes, it's I, Skeletor.
Wow.
He-Man.
I really need to rethink a few things. Maybe I should go
I'm
to my
not a-
kids'
What?
recital, my dance recital after all, instead of going and hanging out with the hookers at the casino.
What? Seriously?
You've shown me
You're a
the
fucking dick.
error of my ways.
You're a piece of shit, buddy, and I'm Skeletor.
Question: are you able to help multiple people at the same time, or like, you really is God really like focusing his energy on just helping me out right now?
It's really just you, but I'm gonna
Right.
kinda...
It's like
I
billions
don't
of
know if
people.
you're worth it.
I mean, how would anybody be technically worth it?
Well, I mean, that's pretty bad. I feel like that goes beyond, you know, sort of going down a bad road in life, maybe sort of not against your free will, but you are really just... That's a shitty thing to do to your kid.
Well, you didn't. I mean, I didn't even tell you what my kid did to me. They're the mean
Okay, what did he
ones.
do to you?
Um,
This, sister.
Took all my time.
Wow.
I used to go to a lot more casinos before.
You know,
a
when
lot
you
more
put it like
hookers.
that... Hope that kid fucking dies.
Is the Bone Angel the Angel of Death, or is it just like one of the ones that is just like sneaks in undercover, like an undercover boss? And
He's
then
like,
teaches you a lesson. He's like
he like takes off his mask and it's just a bone on. It's like a skeleton on. He's like,
Ah, your weekly, quarterly performance review is up.
Be terrifying. Just rips his face off.
yeah.
I was
Like
a
bleeds all
skeleton
over the
under
place.
here all along. It's like, yeah, duh, aren't we all?
Are we all skeletons underneath?
We were playing D&D yesterday, and we were fighting a bunch of skeletons, and I was really, I kept doing like puns that involved me ripping their heads off, and then I kept rolling really badly, so I kept just like saying something, and then grabbing them by the head and slipping and not doing anything. I did that like 3 times. It's great.
Gotta love in D&D when the shit just doesn't work out because it's like,
I rolled badly on just about every single roll yesterday. It was
that's no bueno.
discouraging.
I drew the wings for this bone skeleton and it just kind of looks like a weird drawbridge.
Yeah, it looks like poly bridge or something.
Yeah, it does.
Also in the D&D, I got possessed by a ghost, and then the DM gave me control. I mean, I was attacking my crew, but I had to my party, but I had to make the choices, and my party seemed a little offended at how seriously I was taking it. I was just like, I went for it. I was beating them up.
You know, sometimes you just gotta toe the line of what's, you know, acceptable in D&D.
Well, I
You want real results.
I was role-playing my character. And I was possessed by an evil ghost. So that's what happens.
Not even your damn fault.
I didn't ask to be possessed.
You got that right. No one asked to be possessed by the demons.
Like an angsty
Nor-
teen or something.
No one asked to be touched by an angel.
Right, exactly. What's the
happens.
difference, really?
Great question.
I think they're both technically angels.
One gets you a
Biblical
uplifting. Oh god, I'm yawning in the middle of my sentence. That means that joke was not gonna work. What was I saying?
You're discussing the difference between angels and demons.
Oh, demons are sexier, I guess. I don't know.
I think so, because being sexy is a sin, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right. So it makes sense that the demons would be like all like cod pieces and tit
Yeah.
piercings.
Right. That's what God's concerned with. There's a lot on his plate, and he cares about that.
It's about whether or not you have fun for 10 minutes or less. You know, for a guy who made literally everything, this God guy really gets up in arms about some minor shit.
First thing he made was himself a prude.
Yeah. Who gives God, dog?
God, if you're watching this, I'm sure you're a good sport. If there's one thing the Bible has taught me, he's got a great sense of humor.
We could tell you really went through an arc between the Old and the New Testament.
Boo, you stink!
Oh, I forgot. I accidentally closed down my soundboard. I can't even cue it up without like waiting for another 10 seconds.
Here, I'll just give you this.
Boo, you stink!
There we go. Goodness gracious. Oh my god. Oh no. Why am I yawning so much?
It's bedtime.
Kind of is, yeah. What a lovely angel you have there. Look at that fella.
Me, the guy who delivers your pizza. It was me, the angel, all along. I hope you learned a good lesson.
Is that how it works in the show? Is the angel?
It's just somebody around them that they actually know, and then like basically at the end they start glowing and reveal themselves, and the people like usually break down in tears and see the, they right their wrongs.
Doesn't that kind of go against the idea of faith in the Bible and stuff? Like in the Bible and in Sunday school, they really hammer home this idea of like, hey, you gotta believe in God with there actively being evidence like against the things that happen in this book, because it's faith,
it's
dog. Like if the people only change like their ways,
makes it easier to explain.
I mean, if I was an angel, I would be like, hey, check it out, I'm an angel, dog, and then I'd unangel myself for a moment and be like, okay, but like seriously, you gotta like clear that shit up, because as you can see, I'm an angel. That's how you know you should listen to me, because this shit's real. It's proven. You have proof.
Exactly.
I would do it right away. I wouldn't even wait. I would just like, if God was like, hey dudes, angels, when you come down to earth and you try and help the people, you can't show yourselves as angels, because that kind of ruins the whole shit that we have it set up as. People don't question and all that stuff. And I'd be like, no, I gotcha. And then I pull my earbuds out, go to earth, and then the first person I see, I'm just like, yo, angel, check it out. Right your wrongs, motherfucker.
What happens when you're an unemployed angel? What do? Do you get sent to hell? That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened to the devil.
Satan got the pink slip, dog.
Oh man, that's brutal. We live in a world where there's only one job.
What if you just go to hell and it's just a big, basically Indeed.com, just like, all right, looking for the next job. Boy,
you need 10 billion years of experience for this one.
You need 10 billion years. It's like, hey, Brahma needs a new fourth head. How you feeling about that? Feeling like being
you have to make sure you can get along with the other heads first.
Yeah, there's been some conflict between head 1 and head 3. They've been really going at it, so you got to make sure you act as like a buffer.
Ian,
you can do that.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Oh God. Well, I do this streaming show every 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh really? I should tune in sometime.
It's maybe a little thing you might have heard of called DrawBomb Live. Oh, Oh snap.
Bomb has been planted.
I feel like both our energy this episode has been like not like the episode hasn't been good, but just we're both like, oh man.
I feel like we both didn't feel like going all out. I feel like we're very subdued this episode.
We are a little subdued, but that's okay. This is a nice relaxed episode, you know.
I've been feeling this. It's the scissor arm. I blame the scissor arm. It's up my face. I don't have to shout. I can whisper into this thing, and you guys can still hear me. How insane! Hey there, Brandon. Have you ever been touched by an angel?
Not knowingly, but you know, I don't think so.
So that's just I think this is really tempering the mood of the show. This little scissor arm right here. This me basically filleting this microphone while I'm talking into it. It would be a fellatio if it weren't for this little pop filter right here.
You feel like a late night DJ?
Hey there, you're listening to Smooth Jazz with the Top Cat, yo, the DJ. Coming at you next, we got Touched by an Angel, but first up,
Wow.
some horrible crime that is thematically fitting.
Do you have anything else you'd like to plug?
Extra Attack RPG on Twitch and on YouTube. We do a new episode every Wednesday on Twitch. Stream it live. I mean, we don't do it live. We just stream it. We've pre-recorded it, and it's edited. But it's on Twitch every Wednesday. Check that out. Check out my streams, I guess. Check out DrawBomb streams whenever Brandon's streaming Red Dead. That's all I got. How about you?
Stuff on this channel throughout the week. It's not scheduled like this one, but yeah, we do some games on here and other things. Sometimes it's just me, sometimes me and Ian, but yeah. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
That's it then. I think that's the show. We've done a fantastic, real low-key draw bomb this episode. Episode 66.
I had fun, and I like the drawings. What more can you ask
I did
for
too.
from an episode?
You know, people say that they like to listen to this and relax. So, this episode might even have done that more. So, I think maybe.
Put a few people, to sleep. I'm
putting myself to sleep. I'm tired. I don't know. I'm exhausted.
I'm playing us out.
Ba ba boo ah boo ah ba 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 boo ah boo ah ba 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 boo ah boo ah ba ba.
We should you said it was you sent me the other version of this theme song. Who made that?
Oh yeah, it was Plead the Filth. He was on this chat as the Extra Attack RPG.
Right.
Also known as Tyler.
We should maybe do that as the outro or something. That'd be cool.
We should. I like the. We were talking about sometimes just switching it up, having multiple versions, and just sort of cycling through them sometimes. So we could have that in the roster as something that plays in the intro and something that played
We should make it an anime ending where it's a very soft piano and some shots of a tree blowing in the wind
or staring off into the river, something like that.
Yeah, the DrawBomb guy just I don't know, laying on the ground looking at clouds, just very
We should do that next DrawBomb as our title card is anime and exit. I mean, now that we're both doing a little bit of animation again.
Yeah, we should make that.
We could make that happen.
We've kind of had an idea of an intro in the works for a while. That might get done one day, and then the ending we could definitely do as well.
That'd be a lot of fun. I think
stuff would be fun. We could even make some of that stuff on the stream.
I'd be down. I was thinking about next episode we could just work on animating the intro.
Yeah, we could do that.
That'd be cool.
Talk about that soon. But all right, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much, folks, for this low-key DrawBomb live. Bye.